This is NDTV, and you're watching NDTV Profit in association with NSC.
Caught up with Shantanu Prakash, Chairman and MD at Educomp Solution. Let's listen in what he told us. This is an NDTV exclusive.
Thank you very much, Mr. Prakash, for joining us here on NDTV. Educomp Solutions, we know as a company, has tried to revolutionize the entire education sector in the country. Tell us, what is it that you're currently working on, and what changes are you looking forward to make, considering the way government is focusing on Skill India, education, and many other policies like that?
I think, we see a very exciting time ahead, especially on two large areas. The first one, of course, is Skill India. I think, we know that 1 million job seekers enter the work stream every month, and the country needs to create that many job opportunities. And the second is the whole Digital India program and plan, where education is a very core part of Digital India. We need to digitize education because there are still 140 million kids who don't go to school, and the fastest and the cheapest way to get them into the education mainstream is to make education digital and allow them to access them on cloud devices. So I think these two large initiatives by the government have really re-energized the whole excitement about the education space in India.
And how is Educomp Solutions is looking to tap this opportunity that the government is opening up right now?
Well, there are two things I'd like to share. The first one is that already being leaders in the area of digital content and services, we are now looking at leveraging the cloud infrastructure in India to ensure that all of our educational content reaches out to many more millions of students, which can be accessed by smartphones. So one of the great things that has happened over the past 5 years is that our internet infrastructure and the cost of internet access has rapidly declined in the country. And along with the fact that mobile devices are now really cost effective, we can actually think of a learning system or a learning platform in the hands of every child, and that opens up never before opportunities. The holy grail of education, sometimes we talk about and we say that if every child could get access to education based on his level of learning, his level of brain development, and you could have this notion of self-paced learning, you would literally have a situation where no child would be left behind. With cloud and with digital and with internet, this can actually become a reality. So we are working very intensively on some of those issues. On the other hand, we are very concerned about the whole the skilling deficit in the country. And we are already working with the government on several initiatives, with several state governments as well, on how can we make sure that the youth that gets out of school but does not have marketable skills, how do we ensure that they get trained in whichever job, and they connect them to corporations so that they can get absorbed. It's a very large challenge in the country, but we've already got started on that challenge.
And how are you exactly trying to do that? Because one of the biggest challenges, of course, that has been cited by everyone is creating jobs in the country that India has to really create on an annual basis. So how exactly are you looking to change that, and what exactly is Educomp Solutions doing?
Well, we are working on one end of the problem, is that if jobs exist, how to match the skills of unemployed or underemployed youth to those jobs. And there are many dimensions of this problem. So we are addressing on that side of talent to make talent ready for the marketplace, or connecting talent to market. So we are currently working on several national level schemes by NSDC, by the Ministry of Rural Development, by several different state governments. And as we go into the hinterland of the country and we speak to some of these young people and we provide them those skills, we have seen extremely high placement rates. In many cases, between 90 to 95% of these young people get placed in good companies, and in some sense create that economic future for themselves. So we've started off very well, and I think it can only grow as we go forward.
In the recent times, we've seen some of your competition also entering into what exactly you are doing. In fact, NIIT, they have also started venturing into this online digital space. So how are you trying to make the most of the opportunity, and what makes Educomp really different from what the others have now started doing? Do you see it as competition really building up, and hence probably you'll have to be more aggressive or do some changes to your strategy?
Not really. I have a different viewpoint on this. I think the market is so big that you need 10 Educomps to actually go out and solve the problem. So in some sense, more competition is welcome. It's actually in the national interest. In some sense, competition also puts you on your toes. Clearly, Educomp being a leader in digital is our DNA. We understand how to deliver digital, and we've always had a very entrepreneurial streak in our DNA. So new solutions, new way of sort of connecting consumers to digital, like talent to market that I spoke about. These are some of the pioneering things that Educomp has done, and we know that people will follow us and people will do that later, but that's fine. Okay, our job in some sense is we are pioneers and we are blazing a trail, and more people are welcome to follow us.
And then looking at the kind of opportunity that you're talking about, what is the kind of capex that you have probably planned up for the next 1 year, next couple of years? What are your big expansion plans here in India?
The interesting thing about internet and digital is that does not require too much of financial capital.
Okay.
It requires a lot of intellectual capital, which we have in abundance. And even the working capital model of some of these projects that we are doing is actually very conducive.
Okay.
So in some of these projects, we don't really talk about capital being a limit to growth. We talk about ideas and inspiration being a limit to growth.
And in terms of expansion, are you looking to, how exactly are you looking to grow further?
Well, the market is so big and it's so vibrant and made more vibrant now by the catalyzing impact of the government. So I think growth is a natural consequence of this.
All right, Mr. Prakash, thank you very much for joining us here on NDTV and sharing with us the kind of opportunity, of course, that you are seeing at this point in time in the education sector specifically.
Thank you so much.